Hey, this is Different Careers with Kate Nudd. So I am going to try to make this video short, but sometimes I get on a tangent. So sorry, but we're headed down to I have 2 more continuing education courses to go, and then I have officially gotten 36 hours of continuing education credits done, and you saw some of them of some of the stuff that I had to do. So hooray, we're almost done. 2 more to go. So again, right now I am a licensed massage therapist. At some point I would like to change careers or go back to school and learn elementary stuff all over again, high school over again, and then pick maybe different degrees to learn thoroughly or even learn different skills and see how far I can go. I don't know what's going to happen because I am the type of person where I learn better hands-on, and the school structure is lecture, 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 lecture for the most part. And so it makes learning hard because I learn better through hands-on stuff. And if you hear people talk the whole time, it's really hard to learn something. So today's one is structural dynamics of headache pain. So what does it say? Overview is learn to take a structural dynamics approach to headache pain with Anne and Lynn Teachworth. Consider how more distal dynamics in the lower leg and pelvis impact the cervical vertebrae and head. Learn a visceral component to neck tension and headache pain, and examine how poor structural relationships along the shoulders, cervical spine, and head contribute to strain and compression and can lead to headaches. Learn myofascial approaches to improving these structural relationships and functional dynamics to assist clients with headache pain. The course was featured during the 2024 ABMPC Summit Headaches. So, okay, I'll do that later. So Anne and Lynn Teachworth. Anne and Lynn Teachworth of Turnaminix integrate structural, functional, and energetic concepts to help good therapists be great. Anne Teachworth has been working in integrative health and movement for 15 years. She is the director of educational at Spirit School of Healing Arts. Her educational for manual therapists and yoga teachers has an emphasis on embodied functional anatomy, kinesiology, and body-mind training. She integrates manual therapy, energetic modalities, the Franklin method, yoga, breathe work, meditation, mindfulness to help people understand and experience their design and function more fully. Lynn Teachworth has been a licensed massage therapist for over 25 years, and he specializes in pain, sports injuries, and sports performance. One of only a few therapists in the world with advanced training in structural bodywork, biomechanics, movement, and energy medicine, Lynn is able to address a wide variety of acute and chronic injuries. So learn more at www.turnamics.com. So Anne is a she and Lynn is a he. So just a disclaimer, I thought Lynn was a female name only. I was not aware that Lynn was a gender neutral name or a male's name. So in this video, he does not claim to be transgender, gender, gay, or lesbian, or whatever. But it was something that threw me off in the introduction of the class. So we will watch a portion of this video. I'll let you see the introduction, the way beginning, and then you can assess What do you think? You know? What do you think? Okay. Do you think that's a guy or a she or transgender? What do you think? And this is like an overview of kind of what they're doing.
Hello and welcome to our ABMP course, Structural Dynamics for Headache Pain. I'm Ann Teachworth.
And I'm Lynn Teachworth.
And through our company, Trunamics, we offer...
Does he sound like he's gay? Does he sound like he's really a female? Does he sound like he's transgender? He's coming across as 100% masculine to me. So I'm just like, well, maybe Lynn is a gender neutral name. Right now I'm not taking the time to look this up on the internet to be like, is Lynn gender neutral? I know Jacqueline is a female name, I think. Well, actually, maybe we should look it up because it's like bothering me right now. Okay, so baby names Lynn. Okay, let's try this one. It's coming up. So the bump is okay. It's saying it is, I think, both. British. So yes, there it's a more popular good name. Currently 770, and then it's like boy. So it's a gender neutral name, and I have never heard a boy in my whole entire life called Lynn. So, but that's what it's saying, is it is a gender neutral name. So there, that answers that question. So let's continue on.
Continuing education for massage and manual therapists that brings together our 40 plus years of experience and expertise in structural integration and functional biomechanics and energy medicine. We integrate it all together to help good therapists like you be the best you can possibly be. And today we are going to turn that lens to headaches.
Yeah, so there's a lot of amazing headache classes out there by a lot of different people. And so what we thought we'd do today, instead of kind of going over some of the same ground, we thought about bringing some of the, like we used to, or we like to call, the usual suspects of things that are kind of going on in the body that are setting it up with some bad relationships that are going to give us maybe some head forward posture and some compression in the vertebrae and the brainstem, and causing all kinds of torque in the head and maybe some trigger points and headaches. So we're going to talk about other parts of the body that can add up to really being a really bad kind of platform, so to speak, that are creating the headache pathologies.
Yeah, fantastic. So one of the concepts we think about when we're going to think about what's happening with the head and then the neck would be posture. And, we've all probably heard about head forward posture and how that creates extension in that relationship between the skull and the cervical spine, and that can be a contributor to our headache patterns. But when we think about posture, it can sort of be more of a static concept. So this idea of good posture being some version where we then get the shoulders back and we get the head back and we maybe squeeze the belly in and squeeze the hips, And if we can manage to accomplish that good posture, then everything is good and fine. But really, that type of static posture is only going to work for something static, like a wall. But we are not a wall. We need to be able to move, we need to be able to breathe. And so when we think about the idea of posture, we think more about structure and structural relationships. And when we're talking about structure, we are thinking about, the bones, the muscles, but we're also thinking about how they are relating to one another. And one of our common models for thinking about structural relationships is the tensegrity model. You may have seen one of these. So rather than being just a compressive model like a wall, tensegrity is where we have tensional elements, and then we have these more solid elements, the dowels. So this represents like the skeletal system, the bones, and then the soft tissues that are going to distribute force. And what's unique in this system is that force does not just go down, force is dispersed out in all different directions. And the balance of these forces is going to determine kind of how well that system is operating. So if I have a lot of shortness or tightness over in one area, then that's going to add tension over in another area. And now the relationships in this system maybe aren't as optimal for function, for distributing force, for moving, for breathing. And we call these areas locked short tissue, and then we call these areas over here the locked long tissue. Now, here's the question, where do you think the pain is going to be?
Well,
most often in the long tissue, right? In the tissue that's being pulled on. And so if I go and I massage that tissue that's being pulled on, it's going to get longer. And that hasn't actually fixed my problem. That has maybe allowed this.
Okay. So the traps are like up here. So usually that is true with the traps. This area gets, I think, elongated, and this area is like more short because we're like hunching in our shoulders. So when you release the upper pecs, then it helps release the traps. So that's why with me as a licensed massage therapist, my general theory or philosophy is if someone complains of headaches, of the shoulders being tight, especially the traps, or in between the shoulder blades being tight above the spine, my objective is let's work the traps, let's work the whole neck, let's work the whole shoulder area, and then let's free up the whole muscles, the erector spinae group, by the spine. So you work out all those knots, and the majority of people are like, oh, you've alleviated my muscle tension and you helped me a lot. So that is my thing. So it's like sometimes it's better to do deep tissue or a treatment thing where you're specifically working out those knots, trying to get to the bottom layers of the deep muscles, and to help get rid of like muscle tension, which could cause headaches. But there's different causes of headaches. You have to know the root issue of what's causing a headache. So if your spine's out of alignment, that could be a contributing factor where the nerve could be pinched or something. It needs to go back in alignment, and so you need to see a chiropractor to put your spine back in alignment, and a massage to help with deep tissue. There's a gentle way of working out knots, and then you get those knots worked out, and then it helps alleviate the headaches. And then there's like a bunch of other reasons too. I won't get them in this video. I went over a lot of them in the last video about possible causes of headaches. What's the other thing? Well, and then also there could be muscles tight in the face, and they go over like, the very back of the neck. But like you could have muscle tension in your actual face that could be contributing to headaches. So it's like you address those issues, then then the headaches will go away, but you need to come more frequently, because if the muscles are super tight, then you need to keep coming more frequently, maybe like 2 to 3 times a week, get a massage to alleviate the muscle tension for like 2 weeks straight or every other week. And then it's like once the muscle tension drastically relaxes, then it will be better. So what is the other thing? And here they go into other areas of the body that could contribute to headaches. I've never met a client where they said, I feel like muscle tension in my legs and it's contributing to a headache. That's not necessarily wrong, but that would be in the trigger point category, where you would literally, the knot would be stuck in with the nerve and in a certain specific muscle area, and then if you pressed on that trigger point, it would cause shooting pains or referral pain to go all the way down to the head. So that is a possibility. It's just I don't know, because I don't have my trigger point book in front of me, but it's like at some point I'm interested in reading that book about trigger points, and we could see, is it possible for there to be a trigger point in the leg or somewhere else in the body that causes referral pain all the way up to the head, which could potentially cause your headaches? So that is a possibility. That is a sound theory, but I don't know really the science behind it, because it's like part of it is in the way society works right now. It's like not everything works for everyone. So you have to figure out what works for you. Do you have trigger points? Are your trigger points causing you headache? Because if you have a trigger point, to release it, you have to press on it until that muscle area softens, and then the trigger point will go away, and then you will feel a muscle release. So like, we're going to go to another part that made me feel uncomfortable. Nope. I need her on the table. I don't know where that is. They talked for quite a while. Sorry, this one's gonna take a little bit longer. Okay, getting closer. Nope. So he's gonna work the abductors, and he does something that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Important adductor muscles, right? And the adductors, we all know, are coming inside the knee, but what I want you guys to really think about is how the adductors all the way...
Oh, there it is. He's like really close, borderline to her female genitalia area, and that makes me feel super uncomfortable. And that's why sometimes like females have confided in me like they don't feel comfortable seeing a massage therapist, because it's like they might do something that's borderline too close, and typically the drape is like to here. You don't go that close. You don't hit that line. So it's like, realistically, even if someone has clothes on, you need to have a sheet on the table and drape accordingly with their clothes on, so that way you have your line and you're like, don't work past the line.
All the way around to the back, almost to the hamstrings, right? These adductors are attaching in there, and if they're really, really tight, that's going to cause all kinds of compensation in the pelvis and the lumbar spine, which is going to cause the head and the cervical spine and thoracic spine to have to compensate for that. And you guys already know this. There's a million different ways to work on adductors. What I like to do is just kind of go in and differentiate and see how everything's feeling. And what I'll do too is
And so technically that is okay. I don't think there is really anything else in there, except when he did work the abdominals or the stomach region. He lifted her shirt up instead of having her lift the shirt up to hit like the stomach area. So, and then I wasn't sure about the science because it's like on a cellular level, how do you know what really causes muscle tension, what causes a trigger point? Well, because he didn't really talk to me. He didn't really talk about trigger points in the legs or anything. They were talking about a fascial tissue or connective tissue that was so tight that it would cause a headache in different areas. And I don't know if that is true. Like, where is the science behind that to prove that point? Because it's like, when as a massage therapist, I feel muscle. I do not feel other people's organs. I do not have superpowers to feel if there's something wrong with the connective tissue, which is the fascia in the body. And they were saying you could feel knots in the stomach by pressing through the skin, through the muscles. And I was like, I don't have supernatural powers to feel knots in the stomach tissue. So I was just like, I was kind of blown away with the science of this video. I'm like, it doesn't make any logical sense to me. It came across more people were saying a bunch of nonsense. And then it's like, well, if you're massaging someone this close, like these people are coming across as quacks, where they're like, did they really get a professional licensed massage therapy license in the state of New York? Because they're talking like they haven't. So it's like, how are they in business? Their place looks all professional and everything, but it's like, well, if you're a professional licensed massage therapist, you're gonna drape even with clothes on. You're gonna make sure there's like a buffer line, and you're like, and you're gonna point to a map of muscles on the wall, and you're like, technically these are part of the abductors. If this needs to be massaged, you need to do it yourself, or go in and see like a doctor or something, or someone that has a PhD or a doctorate, to be like, here, I'm going to teach you how to massage this area yourself. Or get your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your spouse, whoever you believe in marrying, to get you to have them massage that area for you specifically, because it's going to be a little bit of an area that it's like, it's going to be safe and appropriate for them to do. So I live in a society where that homosexuality is okay, being transgender is okay. So like, I personally identify myself as a female. I was born a female. I'm fine with that. But other people don't necessarily believe the same way I do. So it's like, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. So, but be careful who you go to. And to me, whether you are female or male or transgender or gay or lesbian, you deserve to have a safe massage where someone isn't going to touch you inappropriately or borderline touch you inappropriately. And that's why also, as clients, they need to learn how to get on the table in a safe manner. Because if they wiggle too much, they move the sheet, you can accidentally see something that you shouldn't see. So, it's like, clients need to be careful. And so as a licensed massage therapist, technically, I'm out of a job right now. But the only way I would get back into being a licensed massage therapist, someone would have to pay me a yearly salary, where I'm getting like $70,000 to $100,000 to $500,000, because I can only I only have so much energy. And then also you're dealing with clients all the time coming in and they act like they don't know how to get on the table properly. Because in New York State, you're not allowed to see men in their underwear or women in their underwear or women in their bra. You're only allowed to undrape one area at a time and work on that area. So it's like a lot of people act like they don't know how to keep the sheets on on themselves in a way that's safe and appropriate for the massage therapist, because I don't have the patience to double check all the time to be like, has this person moved the sheet on me? Because I get into like a tunnel vision where it's like I get into my work and I'm like, I'm focusing on my stroke, or I'm focusing on, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm getting into those tight muscles and working the knots out and stuff. So it's like I don't want to, like, when I tuck the sheet under somebody's waist, it should stay put, but they move somehow and then the sheet becomes loose. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but it's like, I'm okay just going back to school and getting another profession, and we'll see what that is. But unless I get paid like a really high salary, I don't know what I'm going to do, because getting paid by the hour and having clients sometimes come in and be like, well, I didn't want to pay for a deep tissue massage, but I wanted you to work out my knots. But I want you to do a Swedish. Like, no, 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 no. Deep tissue is you're specifically working out knots, trigger points, and muscle tension. Swedish is you're broadening and lengthening the muscles as a whole, and you can still give people whatever pressure that they want. So it's like, pay your massage therapists accordingly if they're getting paid by the hour, because if they're not getting paid a salary, they're not going to be able to survive much longer in this universe or world, and you're going to lose more and more massage therapists because they can't make a living. Prices are going up. So if you want massage therapists to stick around, then you're going to have to pay them a decent wage. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions concerning massage therapy techniques, feel free to put them in the comment section below. Feel free to like and subscribe to this channel if you want. Until next time.